What up, Celtics Nation? What up, Celtic Nation? What up, Green Team? Is this your man BITO? We back on the couch for another reaction to the game tonight, man. And the Celtics once again went undefeated. And actually, once again, my bad. This is another episode of Who Wants Boston. And tonight, the Bucks won in Boston. And the Bucks almost got Boston. They almost did for a hot second, real early in like the second half. But you know, Boston overcame, became 4-0 on the season. I believe the Bucks fell at 1-3. Jaylen Brown had a hell of a night, 30 points, looking real efficient as always. Jason Tatum, didn't have a great night, but, he still had 15, 8 and 4, 2 steals, 1 block, so he still had a solid game all around. He didn't have such a good shooting night, but that is what it is. But, Jaylen Brown stepped up, and, I got to give some real big shout-outs to P Rabbit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Buzzer beater P. You know what I mean? He was going off tonight. I believe he had 8 threes off the bench, 28 points. Hell of a game tonight for him. I mean, this is like the 4th game in a row where I've actually been really impressed by what Peyton Pritchard was able to bring to the table. I like what he's doing off the bench. I like that he's giving us a spark. And it's funny because without his 28 points and without his spark too, that actually kind of put us over the hump and got us a little bit on the lead and got us a little bit of a run because the Bucks had the lead for a little bit. They were looking a little good. Dame was going off. He had 33. I believe Giannis had about 30. So they still had a good game and like they had a good amount of production from everybody. Peyton, going back to my point, had 28 off the bench where everybody else had 0 minus Jordan Walsh, who had 2 points. So he had 30 points off the bench, but Peyton Pritchard had 28 of them, which, once again, a dub's a dub. You're going to get it how you live. I would love to see a lot more production from our bench, like as far as the other guys. But, if we're going to ball out how we're doing with our starting 5, where I believe Brown had 30, White had 13, Holiday had a sneaky 21. Wow. Hold up, my fault. Yeah, Holiday had a sneaky 21. Horford had 10. And Horford's looking good this year. He's not looking as gas. And obviously it's still early. It's 4 games in. But I'm liking how he's looking as far as you get him on that wing side or corner side. He's going to stick that tray ball. And also, once again, 47 threes tonight. 47 straight threes tonight, man. 18 for 47, which is great. You know what I mean? As far as like with the clip that we're shooting. So we shot about 38% from 3. Yeah, 38% from 3. Whereas the Bucks, I believe they shot 31 and shot an abysmal 8 for 31 from 3. What really kept him in the line, what kept him in the game was the 31 attempts from the line. Otherwise, this would have actually been a blowout. Now that I'm kind of looking at this overall box score and the outcome of this game, so it looks like we would have had another blowout if it wasn't for Giannis having a great game, Dame having a great game, and them getting to the line. But I'm honestly going to say this, we could go 74-8. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. But this is looking like a real special season, man, as far as the fact that we've now shot 47 threes, 60 threes, 40-something the game before that, and close to 50 another time before that. We've actually been sticking 18, I feel like, a game. You know what I'm saying? We've hit 17, I think, the other day against the Pistons. We hit, obviously, 29 a game before that. And I feel like we hit about 15 to 17, if not 20, in that other game against the Wizards. So this is just kind of what our DNA is going to be for the year, which I'm not even mad about it at all, honestly, because if we're going to outshoot teams by 15-plus threes and teams aren't going to run us off the line, and even if they are, you run the threat of a penetrating dish, and then we move the ball so well and we know where everybody's at, and it's going to be impossible to stop. So if we're just going to keep shooting these like this, man, I'm not even mad. And once we get Hauser back, who's able to, stick the tray ball and spread the floor a little bit, and once we just get everybody else kind of just back into their right slots and positions on rotation, I think things are going to look a whole lot better, man, at the end of the day. But I'm really looking forward to the season, man. I'm going to still scream Jason Tatum is going to have an MVP season. Jaylen Brown's just going to do Jaylen Brown things and just have one hell of a season. He's going to get all NBA. That's basically what I think is going to happen with that, is that all NBA is going to come out of that. And I believe Jaylen Brown, outside of 30 points, he had, I believe, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, but I'm pretty sure he locked up his defensive matchup and was still disrupting things that didn't show up on the stat sheet. The Bucks, that's supposed to be our contender in these 4 games so far. We played the Bucks, the Knicks, the Wizards, and the Pistons. 2 out of those 4 games have been our contenders and like our challenges in the playoffs. And granted it's early, 1 game in, we are the champions. And once again, you gotta love championship swag and championship DNA because we're able to face adversity a little bit different versus a team that may have not won a championship or is trying to find their way. Like the triple C's, cool, calm, and collectiveness of this team when they do face a little bit of adversity, you can just tell that as long as like they're not beating themselves by going outside of the defensive assignments or forcing up stuff, we're gonna be in good shape to win a game. Like the Bucks had not control, but they were in good shape of the game. But you can just tell by the way the Celtics were playing that they weren't gonna really hold on to that lead that much longer. And I believe we went up to as much as like 15 to 17 points. So that's just Boston for you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's with Tatum having a bad game. Like, Tatum having a bad game, the Bucks shooting 31 times at the line versus our attempts was probably at, 15? 19. We had 19 free throw attempts, which, once again, when we shoot 47 threes, like, how many free throws do you really expect us to get? So, that's where the discrepancy was as far as 3-point attempts for us and free throw attempts for them. But once again, 3's better than 1 and 2, right? Unless they get a 3-point play, which they're not getting most of the time. And I bet you most of those free throws, Giannis was at the line. Let's see how many attempts Giannis had at the line tonight. Oh wow, not that much. Dame was the guy who was killing the line tonight. All right, he had 18 attempts. Wow, that's crazy. He had 18 attempts at the line, so like that's what kept them in the line, kept them in the game somewhat tonight. But otherwise, man, I think this was a blowout because they don't have enough firepower. And plus, we'll say Middleton was out tonight, so that's a little bit easier on getting the job done. Even though I personally don't think Middleton is actually going to be like the same. I think he's going to be a shell of himself when it starts coming into it. And I think he just can't keep up with our guys defensively. You know what I mean? When it comes to just Tatum, Brown, White, Holiday, there's just too much movement going on. He's just not that same Middleton. Like, he used to be a Celtic killer, like, believe it or not, but I don't think that we're going to see that same Middleton. So I'm still remaining to see who's going to be a formidable opponent or threat, whatever you want to say, as we take this journey on in the season. We're heading on to a 4-game road stint. We're going to be in Indiana, I think Charlotte, in Atlanta, and then I think back in Milwaukee. And I believe we have one of those, or maybe not Atlanta. I think we have Charlotte twice. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know we have a 4-game road trip coming up, which, that'll be kind of the real test because those are, 2 of those games are at least trap games. When I say trap games, those are games regarding, us playing teams that are weaker opponents, and like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum said, like we go play Charlotte, we gotta expect teams to do what they gotta do. So we have a lot to prove as well too on this trip, and not prove in the sense of like, oh, will this make or break our season or anything. It's just more like this will tell us kind of where we're really at as a team that's looking to repeat versus a team that's just dominant. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see if we can just run the table. You know what I mean? Like 74-8, I don't think is too far fetched considering the math is mathing right now with how we're shooting threes and that we have the personnel to show that we're able to shoot these type of threes. So I'm not too upset with what I'm seeing in this very small sample size of 4 games. So with that being said, we'll see you again on the road with the Indiana Pacers, I believe. So that's the first game, our Eastern Conference rematch here. Finals rematch, as a matter of fact, and we'll see how that goes. Now, I know they lost Wiseman, I think, first game of the season due to an Achilles injury, which sucks because they did add some size and had a little bit of depth with him being there. But now they're back to, the Indiana team that we've seen before, and like I'm pretty sure those guys got better or whatever. But I haven't been watching too much Indiana, because it's really about us and agreeing all day. So don't forget to like the video, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get for this banner 19. Let's repeat, dog. I'm out of here. Peace.